Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Before the Post, episode 5, an On the Bit series. We have a very exciting race card to go through. There are three group races, including the Indian Oaks. Let's start. Okay, so guys, also this time, which is going to be a little bit different, from now on, we are going to be each choosing one horse per race. And then we will see if that horse runs first, we get 5 points. If the horse runs second, 3 points. And if the horse runs third, 1 point. And we'll keep that tally, and we can just see how it goes episode to episode. But yeah, okay.
Okay,
So
interesting.
okay.
First race of the day, the Isn't She Special Trophy, run over a distance of 1,600 meters. For Class 3 horses, this is an interesting race. A field of only 7 horses, Yazan.
Yes, I would start with Breakpoint, winner of his previous start last time, which we had discussed, and running over the same trip again. And if someone can bother him, I think it's Miracle of Hanukkah. They've put on a blinkers this time out. Ran last time in the lower class, he's run second carrying 62 behind Harrison. So he'll be carrying about 9 kilos less this time. So he should run a better race with the blinkers on as well. What about you, Shrikant?
Absolutely, I agree with you. But when Breakpoint won, Treat ran third with 1.5 kilo weight difference. Now Breakpoint is carrying more weight compared to the horse, 5-year-old mare Treat. So I think that the penalties have been adjusted to Breakpoint and Treat, don't you think that Treat has a slight edge over Breakpoint?
Yeah, he does, but I feel Breakpoint's a better horse. What about
Okay.
Tyra?
I agree with Yazan. I mean, even though Treat is better on the handicap this time, I still think Breakpoint can improve after his last run, just because he's only had 2 runs in the span of like a year before that. Like he's had more than a break of a year, and then he's run 2 runs this Bombay season. So I think he has the most scope to improve. I also think, I mean, he's a Group 3 winner. Yes, that was as a baby, but I mean, since that Mumbai season, he has not run. And coming into this Mumbai season, he ran fourth, and then he ran pretty impressively in his second race back. So I still think, yeah, so I agree with Yazan, and I think that Breakpoint has this race with Miracle. I like Miracle of Hanukkah also in this because he carried very heavy weight in his last run, carrying 8 kilos more than Harrison. Harrison is now running the RR Ruya, and I mean, he has Trevor on board, and his last race he was also bumped in the last race, so that didn't work in his favor. And he was only, well, not only, but he was 4 3/4 lengths behind Harrison, but now he's carrying like much less weight. So I think, yeah, I think it's between Miracle of Hanukkah and Breakpoint. So Yazan, go first in the first race. What is your pick?
Breakpoint.
Okay, Shrikant, what's your pick?
Miracle of Hanukkah.
Okay. And Tyra, what about you? Are you going to
I
go
I
against our two picks?
I also like Miracle of Hanukkah.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Fair enough. Moving on to the second race of the day, the potential champion trophy. Distance run over a mile, 1600 meters for horses rated 80 and above, class 1. We've got a card of only 4 runners. Shrikant, what are your thoughts?
I like the bottom weighted Chagall. Siddharth did ride a pretty decent race in the last week, a long distance race. So based on that and Chagall's form, last time out, Tyra was like rooting for Chagall in that Atash race.
Mhm.
He ran a very good race that day. Ran 4 3/4 lengths behind Atash. So coming into this race, stands a good chance just based on the weights. What do you
Yes.
guys think?
Yes. To add to that, Shubhankar will be giving him 17 kilos, and Pride Sprints and El Greco will be giving about, say, 12 kilos.
I don't think Siddharth can do 45 kilos, but even if he does 47 or 48, it is still good.
Yeah, so he has the weight advantage. And El Greco has also been a class one horse. He's run second in his latest outing to Jade in Pune, which is not a bad line to follow. So yeah, I feel it'll be between these two horses. What about you, Tyra? What are your thoughts?
So I actually like Pride's Prince and El Greco in this race. Yes, Chagall
Okay.
is at bottom weight and he's receiving weight from everyone, but Pride's Prince form, I mean, he was 2 3/4 lengths behind African Gold, and he was 4 lengths behind Psychic Star, both in terms races. Yes, he was carrying much less weight there. But I think, I mean, he's a winner of 7 races, all over 1,600 meters. He's won on the Bombay track before. He's back in class, like he has a good weight in class one. I think it will be hard to beat Pride's Prince. I also like El Greco. I mean, last time in the Mumbai season, he ran second to Once You Go Black, obviously also at bottom weight. He hasn't run since Pune, so I think that's not a plus. That would be a negative. But yeah, no, I like Pride's Prince.
So price pins would be your pick for this race?
Yes, I'm gonna pick Pride's Prince.
Okay. Shrikant, what's going to be your pick for this race?
My pick is also going to be Pride's Prince. It's actually a very good form. The case what Tyra made is a good form to go by. Though Chagall is my second best in this race, which people might find it amusing because El Greco is a very, very good horse. But I would go with Pride's Prince too.
So she's convinced you enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think I'll go with El Greco.
Okay. Okay, well, let's move on to the third race of the day. This is the Pleasure Hunt Trophy. It is a class two race over 1,000 meters.
I would like to say that this is the most competitive race of the day.
Mm.
We've got two 4-year-olds running. That's Big Bay and Social Butterfly. But they would be at a slight disadvantage because they've just run a mile and come, and now they'll be running a 5 furlong. So maybe it would be too fast for them by the time they warm up. But on paper, I would go with Python. Python and also Social Butterfly.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you, Yazan. These two horses, Big Bay, I think the connections would have realized that it's better to stay at this distance, and they might be planning for the sprinters. So
Mm-hmm.
for that reason, but immediately coming back from mile, if they are really good and genuine horses, the distance wouldn't matter. They would show the turn of foot even in short distances and would come out and win. But I think the way Fight On has been running races,
Yeah,
it's a feast to watch this horse. NS Parmar did a great job in riding Fight On. Now David Allen gets the mount. I think Fight On is the horse to beat here, with the younger horses getting the weight advantage. Tyra?
true.
Well, yeah, I like Phyton's form. I mean, second to Atash, carrying 7 kgs more by only half a length in Pune. He has run, I mean, he's won over this distance. He's a very speedy horse. I really liked him as a baby, and I have followed him since. He has also beaten all of the horses in this field, except he's lost to Fontana by 2.5 lengths, but he was carrying 11 kilos more in that race. Other than that, he's beaten everyone other than the two 4-year-olds, the two Guineas runners, and with him having David Allen on board. In saying that, I think, I mean, he's an older horse now. He is carrying top weight. Yes, he's speedy. But I think it will be interesting to see Big Bay and Social Butterfly in this. I mean, they're quite similar, both similarly rated, both won their lead up race going into the Guineas, their respective Guineas. Um, Big Bay, interestingly, even though he finished eighth and Social Butterfly finished third, Big Bay ran a much faster, well, not a much faster timing, but he ran a faster timing, finishing eighth. Um, and they're both working well. So I think it's between these three horses. But Shrikant, what is
But
your pick of, like, if you were to choose one?
before we get to the picks,
Sorry.
I don't think we can ignore Esperanza. She has won all her six starts over this distance,
Yeah, that's true.
and she is also a very speedy horse. So is Chelani, but I think they all would have to take on fight on. But now we can go for the picks of the day.
Yeah, I would still stick to fight on. The Big Bay and Social Butterfly, they've run with really good horses. Though at 1600, coming down to five furlongs, fight on is a seasoned sprinter, I would like to say. So um, fight on will get this edge.
Okay. What about you, Tyler?
I like Big Bay. That's my pick.
I'll go with Social Butterfly then.
Interesting.
Okay, let's move on to the fourth race of the day. Yeah,
Dibs
dips. What
on
did
the
you say?
first pick.
Oh, dips on the first pick. Okay, sure. Okay, I'll start the fourth race. So in this race, only Elmoran and Skanda have run against each other, where Elmoran won, but that was early in Skanda's career. Elmoran has David Allen on board for
Yes,
the
that was
first
Kanda's
time.
first one, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, and Skanda is an improving horse. Obviously the brother of
Yes,
Shambhala has been working very well. Yeah, and last run was also the first run on the Bombay track. I think he finished quite a good second there. Um, I think an interesting horse in this race is Interceptor. He hasn't run in almost 2 years, but he's
yes,
carrying low weight. He has Akshay Kumar on board, so a good jockey, very good jockey actually. And he beat Manor House in a mock race. I know that a mock race isn't very, very indicative, but he did beat Manor House in a mock race. However, he was pushed in that mock race. If you watch that mock race, he was pushed.
yes. And Manor House was handy.
Yes, but Manor House did come out and win very impressively at top
Yes,
weight. Um, and Interceptor Zervan was riding, so he was carrying some weight. He wasn't at a bottom weight in the mock race. So I mean, he's an interesting horse. He hasn't run in almost 2 years, and it's his second ever run. So interesting. I like
yeah,
these
he's
races.
run last in March 24, but he's an
Yeah,
interesting horse. It would be interesting to see how he looks in the paddock as well.
yeah, definitely. What do you think, Yazan?
Another interesting first runner, but it's a 5-year-old. He's out of Cougar Mountain, out of Sugar Drop. So that's the Dussenberg line, who's running in the Calcutta Derby day after. So that's an interesting horse to see first time out. But my pick for this race would still be Skanda.
I think whatever you guys explained, I concur with that. Skanda Interceptor, absolutely. That mock race was brilliant. And coming into this race, Interceptor stands a great chance. But Skanda, with that real race experience and that impressive previous outing, we had discussed this last time out with the Don Julio
Yeah.
line. So I like Skanda too in this thing.
Um,
What's your pick for this race, Tyler?
so okay, well, you guys pick Skanda. I do think he stands a very good chance in this race, but just to make things interesting, I'm gonna go with Interceptor.
Moving on to the fifth race of the day, the first graded race
Lead.
for the Ghoul S Punala Million, grade 3 run over 6 furlong for juveniles only. Shrikant, what are your thoughts on this competitive race?
One horse stands out in this race, that is Nebula. We should just
Mhm.
compare all the other horses to Nebula. Nebula has done nothing wrong, has been running good races, ran third in Pune and then coming into Bombay. That race where she won by 5.5 lengths, that is really impressive. Just based on that, I think Nebula has an edge in this race. What do you
Any
think,
other
Yazan?
horses that can come close to him?
Yeah, absolutely. Lady Scarlet ran right behind Nebula in the first outing. Might have improved after that run. So Nebula and Lady Scarlet are there. Also, there is Elevate. Um, if you can throw some light on Elevate, I think it would be easy to deduce which of these three horses are really good.
Tyra, what do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Elevate is bred quite well. We don't know a lot about Portamento yet, but yeah, the dam is a black type performer. In this field, Nebula also has the fastest timing over 1200 meters. She's also working very, I mean, he's also working very well. I like Starlight Serenade.
Also to add to your point, Starlight Serenade, when she won, Nebula ran third in that Pune race.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um, so coming to this race, I still like Nebula because Nebula had a Bombay run and ran in the Bombay Straight. So we don't know how Starlight Serenade will take the Bombay Straight. Though it is a 6 furlong race, it isn't much, but Nebula is has that run benefit in Bombay.
Yeah, I like Admirable. I mean, unbeaten in her one start.
So
But
Starlight Serenade has got a cross nose band on,
yeah.
and Puccini has got a tongue strap on.
And
So
also, Yazan,
two,
you were mentioning that Elevate had a equipment change last time out. That
yes,
is when
one.
he came out and won, right?
Yes, once the cross nose band, they decided to remove the cross nose band after the first run. He won
Yeah.
quite impressive after
The,
that.
the the more deep we go into this race about the form of the horses, the more confusing it
It's a
gets.
complicated race. It's a
Yeah.
complicated race. Lady Scarlet is full sister to Time and Tide, half sister to Sovereign King. So that's also a very solid line. May the best horse win this race.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I think it'll be a very competitive race.
So let's pick.
Let's
Tyra, what are you gonna pick? Let's start with you. Ladies first.
well, I like Nebula and I like Starlight Serenade.
Nebula. You have
Um,
stolen Shrikant's pick.
no, so I'll let Shrikant pick Nebula and I'll pick Starlight Serenade because David Allen's been working very well. She hasn't, it's not like she has, I mean,
Yeah.
she's not been able to run because there was no race for her. But yeah, David Allen's been working her and will ride her. He knows the horse. I think I'll pick Starlight Serenade.
So you're gonna go with Starlight Serenade, and
Yeah.
I'm guessing Shrikant's gonna go with, of course, Nebula.
Nebula. Yeah, sure.
So I'm gonna go with Lady Scarlet because she's receiving weight from all of them,
Yeah.
and she's run behind Nebula. I would also consider Elevate, but I'll give Lady Scarlet the edge just because she's receiving weight from all of them.
Okay. We move on to the next graded race of the day. This is a lead up to the Indian Derby. We have some very interesting competitors here. This is the Ramniwas Ramnarayan Ruya Gold Cup. And yeah, Yazan, take it away. What are your thoughts on this race?
I feel for Bechimo, longer the better. Mile was sharp for him last time. He showed it. He was sitting last off the pace. And in the Pune Derby, he was slowly off. So I would neglect that run. Apart from that, he has won all his races. So I would go strictly with Bechimo. And another horse to consider would be Zacharias.
What makes you say Zacharias after his last run? I mean, obviously we can't ignore him, but just so the public.
It was his first outing in Bombay directly after Pune. Won the Pune Derby convincingly. So he's back to his 10 furlong trip.
True. Shrikant, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would agree with Yazan on that. Also, another horse we cannot forget about is Red Bishop. Red Bishop will run a good race. It's a 2000-meter race, and in Bombay Straight, it might suit better to Red Bishop. After that second in the Mysore Derby to Miracle Star,
Yes.
though that was if she won very convincingly, but I think Red Bishop will like the Bombay track, might run a very good race, but it's very hard to beat Bechimo in the present form.
Yeah.
Anything for Gunsmoke?
Also, I agree with Yazan on the Zacharias run. I think we should forget the O'Shane Murphy ride on that 2000 guineas. Zacharias settled well in mid bunch coming out in the straight, will run a brave race in this Ruya Gold Cup.
Yeah. So my pick, I mean, I like Beishimo in this. I think he's a superb horse. I mean, from his first run in Bangalore to win the way he did, running so green, I think he has a very good chance. I think he's been improving with every run. Red Bishop has seen a lot of class. He has traveled around. He's run 3 seconds in a row, and he will like this distance. But I like Beishimo in this. I think we cannot ignore Zacharias. I also like Gunsmoke. I think he's also late maturing a little bit. He ran quite a good race in the Derby, coming second. I think the longer the better for him. I do think he's a run short for this, and this is a very deep field with a lot of competition. So I think, yeah, I still think Beishimon. Guys,
So,
let's
what are
do
your picks for the RR Ruya Gold Cup?
I'm
number
gonna
one.
pick
Sorry.
Zacharias.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Zacharias for this race. Though Bechimo has the edge, I want to be the underdog in this race. Vivek will ride a very good race, and it might turn out to be a good race for Zacharias.
Okay. What about you, Tyler?
Number one, Beishimo.
Even though I strongly feel Bechimo, I'm gonna go with Red Bishop.
We move on now to the third classic of the season. This is a grade one race, the Vilusi Puneala Indian Oaks, also known as the Ladies Derby. And obviously, ladies get free entry on this day. So come racing on Saturday.
So, Shrikant, what are your thoughts on the race?
Uh, I'm surprised that Trevor has picked Namiri over Finn Boss. Whatever might be the reason, he might have seen something with Namiri, or whatever is the thought process. And he's one of the top jockeys in the country. He knows what he's doing. He would have the uh, right to choose horses, and he would have ridden both these horses in morning track work, and also he's won on Finn Boss very impressively. And for this distance, on paper, I think he should have picked Finn Boss. But he's gone with Namiri. He knows something. But I still feel that Finn Boss has an edge in this race. Yazan, go for it.
So yeah, I agree with you, Shrikant. I feel they all have to take Finn Boss. She's running the right distance. Namiri also ran a hell of a race last time, but I would of course go with Finn Boss. Another interesting contender is, I think it's the first Bangalore challenger this season because the movement being stopped, but Ravishing Beauty has been in Bombay from before. So Ravishing Beauty from the yard of Prasanna Kumar, Mr. Prasanna Kumar, very interesting filly. She won her maiden start in February in 25 with David Allen. She veered out at the start and then came on to win from there. And then she had a long layoff. And then towards the end of September, she won the fillies after her maiden. So she does has potential.
Sure.
She's got a very nice turn of foot. And if she stays, she can trouble them. She's had a mock race too, run over 1800 meters 10 days back. So
Yeah,
I don't think she's
absolutely.
done anything wrong.
She won the Thousand Guineas, beating a Miracle Star, which
Yes,
we know is a decent filly,
yes,
and
after a long
it's
layoff.
it's all about how well she will stay in this race. I think that is the question. Tyra, throw some light on these runners.
Yeah, I think you guys have covered most of it. I think Finn Boss is the one to beat. Namiri was very good in her last start. I like Ravishing Beauty. She is definitely there. I mean, she has the form in the races that she's run. Obviously, we'll have to see how she goes. She couldn't run sadly because of the whole Glanders situation. Yeah, but I think it's between Finn Boss, Namiri if she stays, and Ravishing Beauty. I I also would just like to say that I think this is a race that is won on stamina, and I think three other horses that will definitely stay or have the pedigree to stay are King's Gambit, Golden Dancer, and Pristine Glory. But they are seeing very, very tough competition, so we will have to see how they go. Okay, guys, let's do our picks. Who wants to go first? Shrikant, you go first.
Yeah, Finboss for me.
Okay.
Tyler?
I also like Finn Boss.
Okay, so both of y'all are going with Finn Boss. Has always been one of my favorite fillies this year. But since both of y'all are going with Finn Boss and she is the one to beat, I would go with some beauty. So I'll go with the Ravishing Beauty.
Nice.
Nice. We move on to the eighth race of the day. It's a 6 furlong race for Class 4 horses. It's a decent field of 9 horses. Yazan, your take.
Yes. So in this race, I would go with Gold Bar, who's out of Gold Bag. And Gold Bag had won the Nosher and Dolly, beating Dancing Prances. And he's had a run in Pune and was withdrawn. If you see that line, if the public sees that line, that's a very interesting line to look at where he's run fifth. You've got Superstar, Golden Dancer, Heart. Heart has run fourth and he's run fifth. And under Gold Bar, you've got Giant Gold, you've got Victorious Omen, who's gone and won in Calcutta, you've got Dussenberg, who's also won in Calcutta. So it's not a bad line. But he was withdrawn at the gates both the times. So if he gets inside this time, I think they all have to pick. I think they all have to beat him. Sorry.
Her.
And beat her. She's a filly. They all have to beat her.
Yeah.
Another horse I would also consider is Manwar, because Manwar is out of Yes Marina, which makes him the brother of Watch My Script. Watch My Script is also a winner of 10 races. Was trained by Mr. Irfan Gatala. So that's another interesting horse to look at.
Shrikant.
Yeah, also to add on to that, Watch My Script line, Zacharias is Watch My Script
Yes,
line. So,
correct.
yeah, anyways,
Yes.
coming back to the horses, Manwar and Gold Bar are the horses, but I still feel that Manwar is my pick, and I would back this horse to win this race, though carrying top weight.
For me, I agree with you guys. I think it's between Manwar and Gold Bar. I mean, Gold Bar, if she's half as good as her dam was, she should have this class 4 race. I think another interesting horse in this race is Renaissance, just simply based on the fact that she has never run before, so we don't know how good she is. But yeah,
Unknown quality.
unknown quality indeed. But yeah, I think Gold Bar and Manwar. Yazan, what would you pick in this race? Who are you picking?
My pick would be Gold Bar.
I'm going with Manwar.
Okay, I'm also going with Gold Bar.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And we move on to the final race of the day. This is the Marchetta Trophy. It is a class 5 over 1400 meters. Shrikant, why don't you start us off?
As usual, we have a class 5 race for the last race of the day. These last races are very tricky generally. Now, I'm going to look into Sandesh's right in the last race. Algonquin, decent start in the last outing in a mile race, ran fifth to Pristine Glory. Pristine Glory is running in the Oaks. So based on that, I would give my first chance would go to Algonquin. Yazan?
Yep. I would go with Ministry of Time, running class down, run third to Eastern Monarch last time, where Enforcer ran second. Enforcer came on and won after that. And he's got Trevor on board. So I would go with Ministry of Time in the last race. Maratha Admiral also, jockey has been changed from NS Parmar to David Allen. Came flying last time, where Lightning Blaze had run away. And Maratha Admiral covered a lot of ground, of course, because Lightning Blaze was also stopping. But he has improved with the blinkers. And another horse, the last horse which I would pick in this race would be Madison from the yard of Mr. Nirad, because he was slowly off last time by about 4-5 lengths. and he's come on to win from there. So he can repeat. He's running in the same class. Tyra, what are your thoughts on this race?
I think there are many horses that stand a chance in this race. I like Ashwan Kara. I like Madison. I thought he was impressive last time out. I also like Wrangler, still a maiden, but that brother of Dream
Dream
Alliance.
Alliance.
And I mean, he has been improving. He ran in class 4 last time, a fourth, only almost 3 lengths behind the winner. But yeah, I am not sure. I will just pick one of my many that I think have a chance in this race. Guys, what are your number one picks in this?
I'm going to go with Ministry of Time
Okay.
and close the day with Mr. Trevor Patel
Okay.
and Mr. Amar
Yeah,
Hussain.
it's a logical decision to go with Trevor or Sandeep, so I'll go with Algonquin. Okay, Tyra, what's your pick for the race?
I think many have a chance. I'm gonna go with Madison. I mean, just because he hasn't won since his maiden, so he did win that last race quite impressively. Maybe he can repeat, but yeah.
He was slowly off as well.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna pick Madison.
This is one race I think all the three of us are gonna be wrong, and Wrangler might come up and win.
That's so
All the
true.
best to everyone. Thank you,
Yeah.
Tyra. Thank you, Shrikant.
Okay, guys,
See
thank
you.
you so much for tuning in to another episode of Before the Post. Next episode, we will see the tallies of who is leading. But yeah, thank you so much and have a great weekend and very exciting racing coming up. And we will see you next week.